Hey guys, Whiskey 3 Charlie Tango W3CT. My name is Jack and this is my ham radio journey. So I've been asked by a gentleman, I'm going to email him back and see if I can use his email in this video. If I can, which I don't imagine why he will tell me that I can't. He actually emailed me the other day after watching one of my videos and says, Jack, you're really inspiring, I guess is the word he used. And the reason that is he was telling me, I'm going to get the sun a little bit here, as long as you can still see me. So what he was telling me about being inspired by is Morse code, or CW, not so much anything else that I do, because I don't do anything differently than a lot of the other YouTubers are doing out there. And he asked me, like, what is some of the best ways to learn CW? And through this video, I'm creating some different clips that you're going to see coming up here. I didn't want to do a voiceover, so they're actual clips of me, the way I learned CW, and some of the theories that I have, or methods, I guess, of going into learning CW, and I'll give you those. Now, he did ask me, can you do some videos and teach CW? Guys, and you're going to see a clip here that I use. I use CW Ninja, he's called. I'll put his name on the screen here, his YouTube channel, and I'll put it in the description below because this guy is awesome, man. When I was getting back into ham radio and I was looking for a way to get my CW speed back to where it used to be, I used to talk at 20, 25 words a minute years ago, okay? 20 pretty fluently, 25 if I needed to. Today, I'm pretty much stuck around 18 right now, so I'm getting my speed back up, okay? And the thing is, I'm not a new ham, so I think that's where a lot of it, if you watch my very first video, I explained it all to you, where I was a ham for a lot of years, and I took like 20 years off, right? I've always had love for Morse code, though. Sometimes I would just be going to work and thinking of the letters in my head, and the dashes and the dots, and, things like that. So, he asking me to, and guys, that's, man, I was blown away that somebody asked me if I could do that, but I couldn't do it justice. CW Ninja does it justice. There's some other guys on YouTube that are amazing at CW, and they show you the ropes. There's also, I was talking to a friend of mine, his name is Stan, NX3P. Hi, Stan. And we reconnected after years. He lives out of Pennsylvania now, and I just recently joined the radio club again, the Washington Amateur Communicators Club. He was in there years ago when I was there, and he remembered me. He found me on YouTube, and he sent me a comment, and then we've been emailing. And yesterday, I think we talked for like 2 hours on the phone catching up, so it was awesome. And he was saying the same thing about learning CW, Morse code, and I did an activation. You've probably seen it before this video. I don't know when this video will fall, but I did an activation at a park, and he actually responded, and I got his call sign. So he's sending fine, right? And I think the majority of people out there, and even myself, I can send faster than I can copy, right? I think that's the way the brain works. Like, I can sit and practice sending, and I'll show you these through this video. I'm not going to make this too long here, but I'm going to show you through these videos of different methods that I use to train myself and keep myself going, okay? And I'm going to show you some concepts and some thoughts I have where people believe they can't learn CW, okay? Anybody can learn CW. I mean, if I could do it, anybody can do it. I mean, I'm just a guy that, picked up a key one day and said, I really want to do this, and I really have a passion for CW. I mean, it's my thing, so. All right. With that said, let's get into more of this video, and we'll walk you through some of this stuff and some of my thoughts of how you can learn how to be a CW operator, or even if you are a CW operator, maybe these videos will help you become more proficient, because guys, I'm trying to get myself up. My goal is 30 words a minute, so I just want to be able to keep up on these contests, man. I don't want to rag chew at 30 words a minute. That would stink. I like rag chewing at about 15 to 18 words a minute. That's pretty nice. So, and you can actually talk to somebody and head copy a lot of it. All right, so let's get on with this video and move on out, and I'll see how it comes out. N8 T D.
N8 TD.
N8 TD. Great time to practice in the car. K1, K1, BG, K1 BG.
K1 BG.
Yep, absolutely. K1 BG. Great time to practice sitting in the car. N 2 R I.
N2 RI.
There you go, N2 RI. All right, so you see another great way to speed up or not to learn CW, I don't think, but once you get accustomed to making radio communications, instead of getting on and doing a rag chew, this Parks on the Air stuff is fantastic to get your feet wet. And the main reason I say that, and a lot of people give me a lot of blowback on it. Now you do have to learn to copy. You have to copy code, right? Because we want to copy his call sign. Okay, I usually start there. It was WS4Y is what he was sending. WS4Y. Another good way to practice and to learn CW is to listen to the contest. You can get involved with it. Don't be afraid to hit your key there and get involved with it. Is the SST contest, the slow speed transmission contest, and the MST contest, the medium speed transmission contest, or telegraphy, maybe it means. I don't know. But anyway, I tell you what, if I could find all the times, I'll put those in the down below in the description when these things are, or just look them up. Look up MST, CW MST contest. That's what this is today. You can hear it. And if you look on the waterfall, look how many different transmitting signals are out there. What I do, I just write them down as I go. Now the exchange is a little bit different. In the SST, the slow speed transmission contest, or slow speed telegraphy, or however you want to call this, is your name and your signal report and your name pretty much is it. Some people send a state. On this one, I'm learning that it's actually, they're sending their name and your log number. So whatever log you're running, you could be number 1, number 15, whatever contact it is. So pretty straightforward. Okay, just another way that you can learn to copy CW and actually hear the static and everything on the radio. All right, just wanted to throw that out there to you. Hey guys, another great way to learn CW is by copying call signs during contests. I know they're extremely fast, but if you sit and listen and write down a letter, they're going to repeat that call sign 100 times. So you have plenty of time to practice. Listen and copy each part of the call sign. And then what I would do is go to QRZ and look it up and see if it's right. See if it's a call sign that actually exists. But I find this to be very, very rewarding and very promising way to practice my CW skills just by listening way faster than what I'm used to or what I'm comfortable with. Okay, guys, I'm going to get back to the contest. Again, I'm not a contender, but I'm a participant. Okay, guys, now this might be a little bit weird, but I also want to associate learning CW with like playing a musical instrument or learning to walk. You know, when you're a baby, you have to crawl first, right? So learning CW is just another talent, okay? So like learning to play guitar, when my mother first sent me for guitar lessons, this is what I had to learn. Right? So think of learning guitar, think of one note as one letter, letter E or letter T, right? You got to learn somewhere. What I really wanted to do though when I went home was I wanted to play chords, okay? So think of that, I just wanted to throw that in there just to show you that learning CW, okay, a lot of you asked, Jack, how do you learn CW? I'm still evolving, I'm still learning it. So, but what I wanted to prove to you was learning it is no different than learning anything else you've learned in your lifetime. Riding a bicycle, driving a car, riding a motorcycle, working on something on your car maybe. You had to learn something, you had to evolve there, right? So I just wanted to throw those out there to you, and we'll talk a little bit more about this subject. So let's move on. Well, hey guys, I don't know where I'm going to stick us in on this video of ways of learning or being more proficient on CW. But I wanted to film this clip since I was here doing some screen recordings anyway for my students. I wanted to throw this one in and put this together for you guys on YouTube and with the My Ham Radio Journey. So anyway, I'm going to throw this in here. So what I want to talk to you about today is another learning tool, and I mentioned it somewhere through the videos. I know I did, about Morse Runner. Now this is a really, really nice program if you're thinking of doing contests or really just basically for copying CW calls, but more so I'm using it to get ready for field day because winter field day is coming up in January. Hopefully, I don't know when this video is coming out. And you know, then we have summer field day. Well, I and one other guy are the only CW operators that we have in our club. So I want to show you this. So I'm going to minimize me and get me out of here. I'm done talking to you here. So let's go over. So if you go to GitHub, okay, right here is the address, github.com/w7sst/Morse Runner. All right. So it is called a open source project. So a lot of people are contributing to this project, which is super cool. I wish I could, outside of maybe publicizing it more with you guys and showing you this, maybe that's the way I'm giving back to these guys because this thing is really, really amazing. It goes off the old Morse Runner. There was an original Morse Runner program that I originally had that didn't have too many of the different contests in it. So it was helpful, but not like this thing. This thing is like on steroids. So to get Morse Runner, I know you see all this stuff at the top. People get really confused with all this different stuff up here. You know this. That's just all the packages involved in creating this program. But if you scroll down to the bottom, go down here to the bottom, and it will actually tell you how to download it. Okay. So there's a video talking about the program here. Okay, you can watch that. Please click here to help cover users' group hosting fees, and so you can give a donation. Okay, I would recommend you do that. Click here to install the latest release. You just click here on this little here button, and it's going to take you down the summary, installation. You download the zip file, and then you have to unzip it. Okay, now if you're not familiar with unzipping, just simply if you're using Windows or at this point even a Mac, if you right click on it, you're going to uncompress it. Okay, now I would recommend, I'm going to minimize my screen here, minimize this out of the way. I was working on that this morning for the kids. Minimize this. I don't need this open. So what I did, I unzipped it and I put it on a folder on my desktop. I find it runs best when it's with its other files that's in this zip file. So I just unzipped it to a folder. If you open that folder, you're going to look through here and there's going to be your executable. It has the icon. Just look for the icon. You could probably even right click that if you want to. You can paste a shortcut of that on your desktop, but this is the way I run it. So I'm going to double click that and Morse Runner is going to open. I can now close that folder. I don't need that open anymore. You can't make a screen any bigger. You can't really do a lot with the screen, but I'm telling you what, the overall program is really amazing. So I set it for field day. You give it your exchange. Let's say you're working a 3A station, Western Pennsylvania. That's where we're located. I put my call sign in there just so when I send a CQ out, it's my call that I'm listening to going out. I've been practicing at 25 words a minute, but you can turn this down, right? Turn this down to maybe you're starting out at 15 words a minute, okay? Or 4 or 8, or you get the picture, whatever. You can change your CW pitch. I've just left the actual defaults on here. CW pitch is 450 hertz. Normally on my radios, I listen to it at 500 hertz is my CW preference, pitch preference. RX bandwidth is 550. I don't mess with that. Now this is neat. Band conditions. Excuse me. You can make it sound like a real radio. Now I leave this off because I, more or less, I want to actually just learn to copy the, the sections, and I'll learn to copy the qualifiers because last year at field day, I really wasn't good at that because I never experienced it. And I sat down and people are sending all this stuff. I'm like, what are they sending? Right. So it helps you to understand again, the qualifier is like station, how many stations people are running, and your region or where you're located. So down here's where the calls is, where you'll copy their calls and their class and their section. So they got a section. Again, mine is WPA, and their class is what these are called, 3A. Okay. To start it, you can start it at 10 minutes. I'd recommend starting at 5. Get the feel for it, right? You're going to get frustrated, and that's okay. Even right now, doing 25 words a minute, guys, I'm getting frustrated at times. Then I bump it to 30. It's like, oh my. But I'm just getting my ears to listen to it better, and it keeps a score for you. So let's set this down to just real quick here. 2 minutes, and I'll let you hear this thing. Okay. Now use the keyboard. So I'm pressing F1 on my keyboard. It will send my CQ message out. And then you're going to listen for calls to come back. Check this out. If you turn on QRN, QRM, QRB, you can hear it now. Hopefully you can hear that. It sounds more like an actual radio. I'll send my call again. I'll show you how you copy these. And you're using the keyboard. You don't have a key. I don't have a key hooked up to the computer. Okay, once you get their call sign, K, 9, X, N. You hit F5 and it responds that call back. Hit F2, it sends out your information. Okay, so my information is going out to that caller. And then you hit enter. And listen again. then when they send a question mark, send out your information again. You're going to listen for their class. Okay, it didn't catch that quick enough, but you get the general idea. So it catches it up here. If you miss it, it'll tell you the corrections. Maybe the class was wrong, maybe the section was wrong. But if you listen long enough, they'll send the call over and over and over and over and over so you can practice. That's what this is for. It's just for practice, right? There's no real calls going on. There's no real communications happening. But I find myself sitting up here, especially if the bands are bad on the radio itself, and there's really not much happening on POTA contacts or no DX running. You know, and I'm not thinking about sitting down for a nice long rag chew. I'll sit here and I'll just fire this thing up and use this thing. So hopefully this helps you. And it's part of, like I said, the overall contents of this, you know, ways of learning CW. And, you know, there's so many clubs out there now. I know there's the Long Island CW Club. There's the CW Ops Club. I'm not a member of any of those. I would like to be. That's something I'm looking at, you know, because I'm trying to get better at head copy, especially when I'm doing rag chews. That's my goal, I guess, to get a lot better at rag chews. So, well, in general, get a lot better in CW. I have to get faster for field day. I know that because guys out there, they seem like they're in this, I don't know. It is a contest. I get that. But sometimes they're like on speed, man. It's like, you know, and you're just like, your head's spinning. So, all right. I hope this helped you anyway. It's CW Morse. I'll put a link in the description below how to get right to their GitHub page. You can download it and play with it yourself. All right. Thanks for watching this portion of the video. Now let's go back to whatever else I was talking about. I'll see you there. Well, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this video. And, you know, I always try to look for ways to give back. Like I said, give back to the hobby, give back to the community out there. You know, even if you're not a CW guy, maybe you're thinking of toying around with a QRP rig, you want to get out there and do some POTA, or you want to hike on top of a mountaintop and do a SOTA activation, you want a small rig, you know, chances are it could be a CW rig. What I'm saying is, with CW, don't be afraid, right? We're going to mess up. I've been doing it for a lot of years, and there's times I go out there and you listen to the call and you're like, what was that letter? What in the world was that letter, right? It's going to happen. Sometimes we get brain blocks. Sometimes there's things going on around you when you're doing an activation, or even just sitting at home here. Sometimes you might have to listen 2 or 3 times to a call sign, like I did. You seen in the car clip there. You know, I tried to make that as realistic as possible. I could have edited it down and said, oh yeah, I copied them all. But I like when he replays those call signs 3 times, because it gives you a chance to, you know, you're starting to try to head copy because you're driving in the car. So you have a lot of other stuff you're thinking about. So if you can copy CW in the car, that's pretty cool, because you're also thinking about driving, right? I hope so. But yeah, it's one thing is, don't be afraid of it. And I didn't include any real information on sending CW in this video. If that's something that, you know, I see that people may want, or we'll talk about it at some other point about sending CW and ways to approach it. The biggest thing with CW, with Morse code in general, is don't be afraid. You're going to make mistakes. Other people sending you are going to send faster. You can copy. And when that happens, I was talking to my buddy, I told you in the video somewhere about Stan. We were talking today again, and he mentioned that. He said, well, wonder if somebody comes back to you at like 35 words a minute. If I can't copy them, they don't make the logbook. And that's not being rude. Slow down to the sender. So whatever you're sending at, and I slowed down just a few nights ago. I was listening to a brand new POTA activator. He seemed pretty new. He was doing about 10 words a minute. It was really slow and really crisp. So I turned the key down and I worked with him. I sent my call a couple times so he'd get it, because we all started with the letter E. I always say that, right? Dit, 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 dit. Just like you've seen in the clip on the guitar. Ding, 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 ding. We all start with the letter E, then we move on to T, and then we move up the list. So I'm going to try to, in the link below, I made a document up on how to learn the letters, my way of learning the letters, and how to understand, you know, to make them more like sight words. Does that make sense? To where you're learning like single letters, then you're learning 2 characters and 3 characters, then 4, then numbers, okay? If you put it into that perspective, it's a lot easier to take in. Instead of trying to learn the whole alphabet in one sitting, you're getting frustrated, you're like, I'm never going to learn this and do it. Guys, you can do it. I guarantee you 100%. If I did it, and you always hear people say, well, if I did it, anybody could do it. You can do it, okay? Just have fun with it and enjoy yourself out there. That's what this whole hobby is about, is having fun. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm not going to make it any more lengthier. I mean, I got to do a lot of editing. I'm just filming the ending here, obviously. So, but yeah, enjoy the hobby. You know, if you're a voice guy, SSB, if you're FT8 guy, if you do some kind of moon bounce or whatever, it's your hobby. Enjoy your hobby. I enjoy mine, and I love CW, and that's just the way I am, I guess. So, take care, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this video. Guys, if you like this kind of content, give it a big old thumbs up. Smash that subscribe button. I'd love to have you stick around. I never know what I'm going to record next, but I try to keep them interesting and a little different each time. Obviously, this is a way off-base video from building antennas or doing activation videos, right? So, but, you know, take care out there. Again, enjoy your hobby. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks, everybody out there who has subscribed and keep coming back to watch the videos. I truly appreciate that, and I love having you here, and it's just nice we built this community. Take care, everybody. I'll talk to you next time. 73s from your good old friend Jack here at my ham radio journey. Whiskey 3 Charlie Tango, W3CT, saying 73s. Catch you guys on the airways. Bye for now. Take care. And CW on.